to make it through. What else can I do? Don't you hear my plea? Friends may come and friends may go, but you should know that I've got your back. It's automatic, so never hesitate to call. 'Cause I'm your sister and always for you. And don't know what I'd ever do without you from the beginning till the end. You've always been here right beside me, so I'll call you my best friend. Through the good times and the bad ones, whether I lose or if I win, I know one thing that never changes, and that's you and my best friend. Whenever I'm done and all that's going on is really going on, just one love.
Hello, sweet babies. It's your girl, Ms.Carlababys, and welcome to my house. Today is July 14th, and today is my belated sister's birthday. My sister, Jacqueline K. Horde, would have been 48 years old. We are 6 years apart, and she passed away when she was 30 years of age in 2001 on May 6th. Instead of celebrating her birthday today, all I have is memories and thoughts of her, instead of calling her to wish her a happy birthday, or, you know, saying that we can kick it today, or sis, I'll be by today, or, you know. And I think a lot of us take that for granted with our siblings, with our true siblings. And what I mean to say of true siblings is the siblings that showed you sibling love and treated you like a true sibling should, as my sister did. Me and my big sister were like this. Like this. We were 6 years apart, so she was more like a mother figure to me. And I have never came out to the public like this, like on a platform or anything, and talked about her death to like a lot of people or anything. So I guess I'm going to do that today on her birthday. Jacqueline was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, which is a virus of the heart disease. She dealt with that for 7 years upon her death. And it was like a up and down situation. Like at one point she's up and then the next point she's down. 1 minute she's full of fluid and can't get around. The next minute she'll have the fluid off of her. She's getting around, but nonetheless she stayed sick with it. It was a lot of things that she went through behind closed doors that only me and her would know, because that's the only people that were around behind closed doors were me and her, other than when she went to the hospital or my family took her to the hospital or whatever. But during those last few years of her life, they were very grim and very gravely, and that's something that we had to deal with, because anybody that knew my sister Jackie knew that she was downright stubborn. So she didn't want a lot of people to know how she was suffering from this disease like she was. And she was really suffering. This disease really took a big chunk out of my sister as her being herself. You know, it was hard to deal with me and her. It was very hard on us because my mother passed away in 94. So, and my father, he was there, but he wasn't there. Y'all know how that is. Like, my daddy was an in and out father. So at that time, he was into drug usage and all types of things, into women instead of his children, you know. So at that time, I had to deal with a lot of this by myself. It was just me, her, and really the kids. Like, I had my aunties and everything, but when I say, like, at home, it was just me and her and the kids, really. And that last couple of years was really when I really dealt with it alone. other than her, you know. And it was hard to deal with. And it's a lot of things, like I say, I won't say names because I don't need to say names. This is my story, and this is the truth, and this is things that happened to me during this time that really had me messed up mentally, you know, and took a big chunk out of the way my personality was and the way I ended up in life and how I am today because of some things that I went through. We're dealing with my mom's death, my sister's death, and my dad's death. Everybody, you know, every time somebody left me, it was traumatic experiences that went along with that, you know. And I call this the 7-day theory because I watched my sister basically knowing she was dying within 7 days. You know, it took her 7 days to pass away in the hospital this last time when she was in the hospital. So, with that being said, let's get the 7-day theory started. Okay, and like I said, we dealt with a lot with her getting sick on and off. My sister, she was on a heart transplant list. Then she became so ill that she wasn't a candidate anymore. She wasn't a candidate to even be on the heart transplant list anymore. So she got taken off the heart transplant list. And what I mean by not a candidate is her health was so bad that she wasn't able, she wouldn't even be approved to get a heart transplant if they had a heart for her. So they had to take her off of that list. And over time, like with cardiomyopathy, your muscle, the strength of your muscle gives out and it weakens and it doesn't pumps your heart anymore. So what happened with hers, instead of hers pumping her heart, it wasn't pumping anymore. So it just died down and not squeezing. So basically her heart was just growing and growing and growing because it didn't have that elasticity that it needed to stay strong, you know, and build, you know, your heart is a muscle. So instead of it being strong, it grew and grew and grew until the day she passed away, her heart was the size of a basketball. Imagine the size of a basketball just laying in the middle of your chest. Just laying there, the size of a basketball. And that's exactly how the doctors put it, the size of a basketball. And I still, to this day, that image, I still have that image of her heart, her x-rays, when she was in intensive care, when she died. Every time, I don't know why that sticks in my mind, every time I used to go into the hallway, they had her x-ray on the charts, like behind, and I always knew it was hers because where they have the electrodes to monitor your heart and everything. Her electrodes was where like the doctor said, like where the outskirts of her heart. And there you saw it was the size of a basketball. Everywhere you see the electrodes in the x-ray, it was a big old space. You know, like everybody else's would be within this spot. Hers was like this. And that stayed in my mind for a long time, you know. And it still does, you know. Oh, it still does. It still does. But as time goes on, you know, things don't get better, but you learn how to live with it because you have no choice. Life goes on. Like I said in my other video, that's the bad part about it, is that life goes on, you know, until it's your time. You know, because we all have to do that. They're doing nothing that we don't have to do. Everybody meets their demise. Everybody does. That's one thing that's certain in life, is death. It's certain. Life is not certain, but death is. So anyway, so the first couple of days, she was awake. The first few days, she was up talking and, you know, talking to me. And the whole time in the room, it was mostly in the room. Most of the time, like me and a couple of aunties in and out. But me, I never left that side. Never, to the point where I got sick. And the doctor had banned me, because we had the same doctor. He banned me from the hospital. Like one evening, he made me go home because I almost fell out. Because I hadn't slept. And like at this point, it was like 4 days. I hadn't slept in 4 whole days. When I tell you not slept, not did nothing, because I stayed right there. I stayed right there. So he banded me from the hospital, and I went, and my cousin was braiding my hair, because she was braiding my hair. I wouldn't leave the hospital, so she had to braid my hair at the hospital. So we went to my grandma's house, and the doctor sent me home to get rest. But of course, how could you rest and you know your sister's dying? So anyway, when I left, someone called me. I won't say. Someone snuck and called me and was like, and they whispered on the phone, I'm not going to out their name. And they was like, she's looking for you. And I was like, I was like, what is she saying? It was like, she's saying, where's Carla? Every time she looked around, she was panicking because, like I said, I was always there. I was one person that never left my sister's side. Me and my kids, never, never, never. So when you see that one person, you know, she panicked and she was already lethargic going in and out. First of all, and this right here is my beloved sister, Jacqueline. This is my sister, Jakki. This is my sister, Jakki. I miss her so much, y'all. This is my sister. And like I said, like, she was in and out of consciousness and stuff. And she was panicking when she didn't see her sister, because she knew her little sister would never leave her bedside. The only time I left was to use the bathroom, and I came right back. Right back. Now, my niece at the time, it's a couple of things that I regret I didn't do at the time, but I went through so much. I was in a big blur. I would have had my niece in there more. My niece was 8 years old. She don't remember a lot because of a lot of stuff that went down, and she was not kept in that room seeing her mother like as much as my daughter was, because my daughter was spoiled by me and my sister, and my daughter was only 5, but on like a 2-year-old level, because my daughter, remember, she was only 1 pound and she was delayed. So she was like a baby, you know. She barely was even talking like that. She was just saying things like hi, bye, TT, mama, Kayla, you know, and stuff like that. So my niece was with other people. I guess they thought it would be more healthy for her not to see her mama going through this, which it wasn't. She should have been in there those last days seeing her mom and being with her mom, because her mom was able to talk and stuff them first few days. So that's one thing I would have changed if I was myself. So because it's a lot of things that I regret to this day. It had a lot to do with my niece growing up, her not being there, because she don't remember a lot. But that's another video. But anyway, she was looking for me, so of course I went back up there, and everybody was wondering like, why is she back? Why? I was just told them I couldn't rest. I lied, because that person, I didn't want to let them know who called me, because it wasn't their business. But I'm glad that person did call me, because my sister needed me. I don't care what it meant. I went right back up there. So I went up there, back up there, whatever, and like I said, things happen like a movie. That's why I used to say when stuff happened on movie, I'd be like, come on, man, that stuff don't happen, this and that. Yes, stuff does go down, just like things do in a movie. That's where people base their things off of in the movies, okay? Anyway, so I'm just going to skip a few days or whatever. I'm going to go to like the 4th day. I go back up there, and like I said, I went through a lot of things. At that time, my grandmother was living, and like I said, I had my aunties and my uncle. It's 9 of them. It was 10 of them, including my mother, but it's 9 of them left now. And like I said, I don't know what I would have did even without them back then. Now, it was a lot of things that happened with certain family members back then during that time. You know, during that time, it was a lot of things that happened that shouldn't have happened, that made me go through a more traumatic thing when I should have been grieving for my sister. I went through a lot of people lashing out at me, a lot of different things going on, like with funeral costs and people throwing stuff in my face. I went through a lot of stuff with family, you know, and I shouldn't have went through that. Nobody should go through that. But I did. And like I said, I won't name names. I went through things like people lashing on me saying I killed my sister because I had to make decisions. My sister left her life in my hands. In my hands, nobody else's, not my dad's, not nobody's, my hands. And when my sister did that, I cried because I couldn't believe she thought her little sister was mature enough to be her power of attorney. I still can't believe that to this day. But then again, I can, because who else would she trust with her life than somebody that knew everything about her, you know? But other than my mom, and my mom wasn't living, you know what I'm saying? But my sister was able, the reason why I say about things happening like the movie, y'all got to realize when I'm scattering around, coming back and forth, because this happened in 2001, and everything keeps coming back and forth to me. So I'm saying it as it comes back, and I don't want to tell everything when incriminating people, and, you know, I don't want to say names like I said, but like I said, I will tell the dirty stuff that some stuff that was said and done to me. You know, I had knives put out on me, saying, you know what I'm saying, all types of shit going through the shit, saying about one family member, a close family member, even told me that I should have kept my sister on the life support long enough so they could come up with the funeral money to bury her. Yeah, it got down and dirty like that. And basically, it's like they wanted me to pay for my sister's death. Like, they were lashing out at me for funeral costs. And some of them may say, when did that? Because they don't know. But one person might not know that another person did that to me. But yeah, it did happen to me. Yes, it did fucking happen to me. I have witnesses. Friends were there when shit happened, when this shit went down, okay? My kids were there when this shit went down. So, anyway, like people say these days, I have receipts. Yes, Carla does have receipts. And a lot of people know that. That's why they don't go there with you. And I don't go there with people no more. Like I said, you have to forgive people because people are evil. People are evil, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I thank everybody that helped me. Like I said, my aunties helped me through that time. I don't know what I would have did without them at that time, you know. But yeah, I went through a thing. I went through a lot with that. I had to make those choices with my sister, and the way I dealt with those choices and the way I knew my sister was able to give a living will. And it was crazy because she was in and out of comas, in and out of comatose, in and out, in and out, in and out. And this one time, it was just me, my sister, and the nurse and the doctor. So we had to do the living will. Now, they typed it up, and they also recorded it about everything that my sister wanted, upon her passing away. And who she wanted for her power of attorney. She had to fill out sign the papers and also document it. Who she wanted to make life and death situations. Who she wanted to do this. And lo and behold, it was Carla. And that, oh my God, I still can't believe my sister thought that much of me. You know what I'm saying? To even say that, like, she left her daughter to me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm surprised. I know I would have got my niece anyway because her daughter, her father ain't shit. But I knew that. But I'm just saying, just to hear that comes out my sister's mouth. I am 6 years younger than my sister. Y'all got to realize I'm like, what, 25 years old. And I'm hearing her say this. And she was like my mom. You feel me? She was like another mother figure to me. It was like I'm losing a second mom. And she thought that I was mature enough to make decisions like that. So I had to grow up real fucking quick. You feel me? At 25, I was like a 45-year-old lady. You feel me? Because I had a lot of responsibility. I had to say, fuck it. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? My sister know I would do anything for her, but she left everything on me. And the reason how I knew how to deal with my sister's life and death situation is because she told me the only way she would want to be left on life support is if she had a future. That was it. That's all. The only way she would be left on life support if the doctors would tell me if she had some type of future, which means walking around talking, any of that. So that's how I knew the decision to make on my sister's life support. So nobody knew that. Nobody needed to know that but me and my sister back then. That's why I say those who talk shit, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I had my grandmother and my father sign the paper to take her off of it was this thing that was smashing her face. And I knew that if it would have stayed on her face, that she wouldn't have been able to have an open casket. Because it was really basically smashing her face. Because my sister was originally 260 pounds. Even with regular fluid weight. My sister was 430 pounds. And all of it was fluid. Believe it or not, she was that swole. When I tell y'all I went through a traumatic, horrific experience with my sister's death, I did. And it took a lot for me to talk about it, even to now, publicly. It's just crazy. Like, I can't believe I'm even coming out. I'm nervous. I'm kind of nervous. But she was that swole, full of fluid. But anyway, I made a decision for her. The doctor said she has no future. He don't know if she would live to see tomorrow. This was him talking to tomorrow, the next week, or whatever. But she is going to die. And she would die, and she would not have a future before she died. She would not have a future. So basically, hooked up to life support and not even be... Because she never woke up again after she made the living will. That's the crazy part about it. That's why I say God works. Because after she did that whole living will, my sister went to sleep that 5th day and never woke back up. She never woke back up again. That was the last time she yelled out my mom's name. Because this the messed up part. My sister was still feeling pain when she was in her coma. When she was still in her coma, she felt pain. She felt pain. She felt pain when she was in her coma. When she yelled out, because I asked her before, when she was in and out of consciousness, this was when me and my sister, it was a lot of times when I wanted to sit in there by myself with my sister, and I did all the time. She told me, I asked her, I was like, Jackie, have you ever seen Mom? When you went out and took unconsciousness? She was like, nope. And I was like, never? Because, you know, I always hear people going to the light. People tell them to go back. So anyway, after that, my sister, yeah, she was like, Mama. She was in her coma, in a comatose state. When she yelled that out, I knew she wasn't coming back. And damn sure she never came back after that. After she yelled for my mom, she never came back. So I don't know what, if my mom got her hand, I don't know what. But after that, my sister never came back. And I knew she was never coming back when she yelled my mom's name. So, anyway, so, oh, Lord. When that happened, like I said, she never woke up again. She ended up passing away. It's a lot of traumatic events that happened. Even with that I would have changed, that I regret today. Because, just put it like this. It was a few people around her bed that watched her go. Because I left out the room to go get my kids. And because I really got angry because it was like, it was some kind of freak show. Like, a lot of people was there to watch her. That's how I felt. And to come to find out, a lot of it, a close relative, very close relative, told me when they watched because when my sister died, she was gasping for air and blood coming down her nose and this and that. Now, I wasn't there for that, but when I came in, it was blood and stuff still trickling down her nose. She was gasping, had gasped for air. The flat line was still going off when I came in and people were standing around her bed. Now, I know my sister would never want to look. I don't know. I just felt like she was the exhibit. Like, people were just standing there like I don't know. I felt like she died with no dignity. And I feel like that's my fault. I was out of it, but I regretted that for so long. Like, that was my fault. That they sit there and watched her go. And then when I had that loved one told me, she said a lot of it was out of curiosity to why she sit there and watched Jackie gasp for air to her last breath and die. And this was a close relative that admitted it, and I was glad that she admitted it. But she did admit that to me, that half of it was curiosity. So that's why, and I know my sister, she wouldn't want nobody there but me and my kids. Nobody. Nobody. Not even my father, nobody. And the worst thing to this day, the worst thing that Carla ever had to do in life was to look my sister, my beautiful sister, in her eyes and tell her she was going to die. She was going to die soon. I had to look my sister in her eyes and say, yes, she was going to die. And I had my big sister look back in my eyes and say, so are you sure they're saying I'm going to die? That's exactly what she said to me. And I was like, yes. I was like, yes. I was like, yes. That hurted me so bad. And to have to hold back those tears, I would say I had to use the bathroom and go in that bathroom and bawl. When I tell y'all I would bawl in that bathroom because I did not want to see my sister cry. I did not want to see my sister cry because my sister told me before then that she was not scared to die. But when she said that, I knew she was scared. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be scared? And I had to tell her that. Why? Because this was before she did the living will. I had to tell her that so she could know why she had to do that living will. So, y'all, when I tell y'all all these decisions I had to make for her to go peacefully, I had to sign a thing like it's different thing I had to sign for them to take her off, though, because it was only meds that was keeping her. The doctor said her heart wasn't even pumping. It was rocking. That's how much her heart was going. Remember, her heart was the size of a basketball. Remember, which was why she couldn't get a heart transplant. Her chest, my sister would sit on the couch, and you could see her chest go like this. And I'm serious. That's how my sister, and when the doctor said that her heart does not beat, it rocks. That's what the heart specialist told me. Her heart is not beating, it is rocking. And when he told me that, I was like, man, it's been rocking for so long, because I used to wonder, why do I see my sister's whole chest wobble back and forth while she's sitting on the couch breathing? And that's what it was. It wasn't beating, it was rocking. So anyway, it was a medicine that kept her doing that. So what they had to do is take her off of all those medicines and just let her go peacefully, and to take her off that mask, to let her go peacefully. So the life support part was just taking her off the meds or whatever. So what she did was she went peacefully. And when she went peacefully, it didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. Like, I would say a few hours. And my sister was out of there. So that goes to show you that it was that gravely. That she went that quick within a few hours. Within a few hours, she was gone. But it took 7 days for me watching her suffer. For 7 days watching her suffer. And there's one other thing that I did. And when I tell y'all, I did not take care of myself that whole time. When my sister was in the hospital, I had open wounds that needed to be packed. And I swear I don't mind telling nobody today, I do not give a fuck. Carla smelled like a funeral home. I did not wash my ass. I did not wash a wound. I didn't wash anything. Those wounds were full of infection, full of all kind of shit. I did not care. The doctor could not believe what he's seen, especially me, as clean as I was with wounds. Anybody that know me tell you I'm immaculate when it comes to wound care and anything. That 7-day theory was the worst experience I have ever been through in my life. I don't care. I've been over 14 surgeries. But that 7-day theory was the worst experience in my life that I had to suffer through. Was losing my sister. Was watching her suffer for years. But the last 7 days of her life, I wish that on nobody. Nobody. I'm sorry I had to come to y'all today like that. And with all this bad news, there is some good news out of it. I have a beautiful niece. I have a beautiful niece, and I love and I raised her as a child. And her and my daughter have been raised together. So that's why I always say I have 2 children, because I do. Me and my sister were a team, and we raised the kids together. And I have 2 beautiful girls, and I love them to death. And like I said, today is her birthday. I have memories. I have memories. Nobody can take away your memories. Nobody can take away your memories. Your memories will always be there of the ones that you love. I love my sister to death. And that was all I had. And I miss her so much, and I wish she was here for her birthday right now. But like I said, I have memories, and I have so many memories of me and my sister together. And everybody, if you do have a true sibling, you hold on to that. Because my sister was a rider. There's nothing she wouldn't do for me. And that was my only true sibling. My only true sibling that I had. And it was taken away from me. But you know what? I have those memories of her. And I have her daughter. And we have so many memories of her. And like I said, there will never be another Jacqueline K. Horde. Never in life. Never. It was just me and her. And it was just me and her. That was my sunshine. It really was. And I love her so much. And like I said, the song that I play, that was my favorite song, dedicated to my beautiful sister. It's Best Friend by Brandy, because you know Brandy sung that song for her and her brother. And that song is dedicated to my sisters that you're going to hear in the intro and the outro of this video. And I'm sorry for the tears, y'all. But sometimes you got to let them go, you know. And also, happy birthday to Faith from Faith Squad, Kathy. Happy birthday, baby. I hope you're having a good birthday. You know, no matter what I'm going through, I pray that you're having a good birthday today. And you're a very sweet person, and God bless you. And I hope you having a blessed day. And thank you all. Thank you all for listening to my story. And I'm sorry I couldn't put the story together better than I thought I would. But like I said, some of it just come and goes. And it's so long. The story is so long. I had to shorten it up. I didn't want to make it longer than 30 minutes. But it is what it is. You know, but I'm sorry. But I had to let that go today. Happy birthday to my belated, beloved sister, Jacqueline K. Bruce. I love you, baby. I wish you was here with me, but you will always be in my heart. Love you.
I've got your back. It's all